Have you ever realized the strength you have, the kind of strength that makes others silently regret how they once treated you? When you meet people who can't look you in the eye because of what they did in the past, it shows you how powerful you are now. Today, we're going to talk about the deep theme of shame and embarrassment felt by those who once mistreated you. The main reason they feel this way is because they've finally realized they've done something wrong. They start to understand the full weight of their actions and how unjustified their behavior was. Picture this. A colleague who once spread false rumors about you now sits across the table in a meeting, looking away as the truth comes out. This isn't just awkwardness. It's a deep moral examination, similar to what King David experienced when the prophet Nathan revealed his mistakes. At that point, David's pride crumbled under the truth, and he stood exposed, facing the depth of his moral failure. That confrontation was a real eye-opener, making him realize that he needed to be more humble. Also, those who wronged you now see the huge difference between their past actions and your strong integrity, and it really burns them like the blaze of the midday sun. When you're around, they can't help but see their flaws, and they can't lie about it. To them, you're basically a walking, talking reminder of their screw-ups. These realizations don't just come and go. They're a part of everyday life. Maybe it's that neighbor who used to spread cruel gossip and now keeps their distance during polite conversation, realizing their words had no real power. Or maybe it's that old friend who broke your trust once and now says sorry in a half-arsed way at a get-together. It feels like they're carrying the weight of their betrayal with them, like a storm that just won't let up. They're not just a bit embarrassed either. It's a storm of guilt and regret, a hurricane that follows them wherever they go. Every time I talk to you, it's like a painful reminder of the harm they caused, and it's impossible to hide their past behavior, even from other people. The regret they feel is sudden, sharp, and overwhelming, like a bolt of lightning revealing the full truth of their own flaws and the pain they inflicted on you. Meanwhile, you stay strong and dignified, and your presence says a lot about their past decisions without you having to say a word. Not looking you in the eye isn't just about feeling ashamed. It's a deep, unsettling awareness of how they didn't measure up. Your quiet strength is now something they're worried about. Your integrity is like a mirror they can't avoid. This isn't a temporary feeling. It's a hard truth that sticks with them, affecting every future interaction. And when you look into their eyes, you can see it. They really regret it, and they know it. They're now carrying the weight of their own conscience, and they have to face the raw truth of what they did. The second reason they feel embarrassed is rooted in the fear of judgment, an invisible force that haunts their every move. They're nervous about being seen not just by you, but by others who might know the truth. Picture a former friend who once betrayed your trust, now skipping social gatherings, their anxiety hanging in the air, afraid of the whispers, the side glances, the quiet acknowledgments of what they did. You've become a symbol of integrity, shining a bright light on the cracks in their character. Every time we interact, it's not casual anymore. It becomes a quiet courtroom where they are constantly on trial. They're always anxious, like they can't escape being accountable to the people who know what they did. In day-to-day life, these moments are really clear. A colleague who wronged you in the past now avoids office events altogether. They avoid being seen in a bad light because they're afraid people will see what they're really like. Or maybe it's that neighbor who spread lies about you and is now running away from conversation. Their guilt showing in every hurried word and awkward gesture. You don't need to say a word. You're like a spotlight, shining a light on their inner turmoil and the consequences of their actions. Their fear isn't just a passing thing. It's like a storm is tearing through the very core of who they think they are. They're like the goddess Hera, who got in trouble with Zeus when he found out about her plans against Heracles. They also feel exposed and fragile, their former power crumbling under the weight of their guilt. Every time you look at them, it's like a reminder of their moral collapse, how they're losing their cool under pressure. You're so calm and strong, and they're weak and messed up. It's like you're their reflection, showing them what they're really like. This fear doesn't just visit them, it imprisons them. To them, you're more than just a person. You're the silent judge, the living embodiment of the justice they dread. Your grace and integrity are their downfall, showing how they're really failing. Every time we meet, it's like having a trial you can't run away from. It's a quiet but intense kind of reckoning. You're the one they can't silence, the symbol of everything they chose not to be. And the fear of your judgment and the judgment of those who also see the truth consumes them like fire, stripping them of the facade they once wore so easily. You've become their reckoning, the unavoidable force that makes them face themselves. The third reason they're embarrassed is probably the most painful. They've lost your respect. This isn't just a simple disappointment. It's an emotional breakdown from the inside out. They've realized that the respect they used to get from you and maybe others is gone for good. Imagine a family member who has ever put you down in front of others. Now, at family gatherings, they can't even look you in the eye. You're there, solid and unshakable, like a monument to their past mistakes. Every encounter reminds them of what they threw away. They've completely destroyed the trust, respect, and bond they had. You can tell they're ashamed, and not just because they're being shy. It's written all over them. You can't miss it. It becomes a real burden, a weight they can't shake, an unrelenting pressure that follows them around every time you're near. In day-to-day life, these moments really stand out. The colleague who used to come across as arrogant is now struggling in meetings. They lost their confidence and found it hard to hold their own in conversations, even though they were the ones who used to be in control. They now have to deal with a space where they don't get the respect they used to. The friend who once let you down seems distant at social events, avoiding your gaze, and can't seem to fill the void where companionship once was. The respect they've lost isn't just some abstract feeling. It's a really loud silence that they can't get out of their heads, and it's always there. They're left standing amidst the wreckage of the esteem they once held, haunted by what they can never recover. It's a bit like what happened to Brutus after he killed Julius Caesar. They have to deal with the consequences of their actions. Brutus, who used to be seen as a symbol of nobility and principle, thought he was acting in the Republic's best interests. But the Roman people were unforgiving. He became more of a symbol of betrayal than of patriotism. The respect he was trying to maintain was lost in the wave of public anger. Every time he saw a Roman citizen, it reminded him of the moral collapse and chaos he had helped unleash. What started out as something good ended up with Brutus on his own, broken, and remembered not for what he stood for but for what he didn't manage to do. In the same way, your constant presence can be a real pain for them. Your integrity is a shining example of their moral decline. They start to feel like they're trapped by what they've lost, and it's not like a physical prison, but more like one made of regret and remorse. They see you as more than just a person. You're a walking embodiment of the respect they've thrown away. Your calm, steady gaze cuts through their front, reminding them again and again of their fall from grace. They're always a bit tense when they're with you. It's a trial they have to go through without any hope of redemption. To them, you're the respect they used to have, but now they know they'll never get back. It's not just an emotional loss, it's a practical one too. It can become all about them, and it can take away their self-worth and confidence. You're their downfall, making their shortcomings, shame and self-reproach seem even worse. It just keeps looping and they can't escape it. Your presence is a monument to the respect they lost, a living reminder of their moral shortcomings. It's this reality, more than anything else, that becomes unbearable. The fourth reason for their embarrassment is even more striking. It's about letting people know what they're really up to. They feel exposed and vulnerable because their hidden intentions have been exposed. The image they tried to project has cracked. Their deceit, once hidden behind smiles and subtle manipulation, has been revealed for what it truly is. Picture this. You've got a colleague who's been trying to sabotage your project on the sly. Now I'm forced to face you, and I know you've known the truth all along. Every meeting is full of awkward tension, and every glance between them is like they know something is up without saying it. They feel seen not as they wish to be, but as they truly are. When you're there, you're like a spotlight that can't be switched off, shining a light on every shadow they're trying to hide. Every time they meet, it's like a war zone where they all take off their masks, and the truth comes out in all its raw, undeniable, and super awkward glory. This isn't just a passing concern. It's a wound they can't hide from. It's a deep, soul-penetrating humiliation, one that bleeds into every part of their being. In the day-to-day chaos of life, these moments of exposure really stand out, and you can see them in black and white. The neighbor who used to plot against you behind your back now can't even look you in the eye. The weight of their revealed intentions crushing their spirit. The friend who always manages to get what they want out of every situation is now struggling in every conversation with you. Their carefully maintained front is destroyed by the undeniable truth of who you are. Their exposure isn't subtle. It's all a bit of a roller coaster of feelings, isn't it? Like a storm that blows away the masks they used to wear so confidently. It's similar to what happened to Loki in Norse mythology, whose clever deceptions and planned tricks were finally exposed to the divine council. Loki was once known for his wit, but now he's exposed. His illusions are shattered, and all that's left is treachery. The gods' eyes weren't full of admiration, though. They were full of scorn, and each glare made what little respect was left disappear. The weight of his misdeeds crushed any reputation he once had, leaving behind a legacy forever marked by deceit. Also, your strong moral compass is what makes those who've tried to take advantage of you in the past really suffer. They can't keep hiding forever. When you're there, you show them what's really going on, and they can't hide their true intentions. You're not just someone from their past. They see you as a mirror of truth. Your steady gaze becomes a silent judgment, exposing the chaos they tried to keep hidden. You're so real, you see through every lie and every scheme. When they do, it's like their motives are exposed, and they're left feeling like their confidence and dignity have been destroyed. You're their reckoning, the embodiment of truth that won't be silenced. This makes them feel trapped in a never-ending cycle of remorse and disgrace. When you're around, they're reminded of what they tried to cover up, the damage they caused, and the deep cracks in their character that can no longer be ignored. It's this raw exposure, this unbearable truth, that they just can't handle. The fifth reason for their deep embarrassment is the creeping weight of regret and remorse. They're consumed by a deep, nagging sadness for what they did and the far-reaching consequences that spread way beyond what they first thought. Picture that neighbor who used to be always telling lies and causing arguments, and now they're feeling pretty guilty whenever they see you. They were well aware of the unnecessary chaos they caused. Your presence is a constant reminder of the integrity they chose to give up, a mirror that shows them exactly what they've become. Every encounter becomes a battlefield where their inner turmoil is the enemy they can't defeat. This isn't just a passing discomfort. They feel really bad about what they did, and they can't stop thinking about it. You can't miss them. The colleague who tried to undermine you now finds their voice faltering in meetings. They're always saying how they feel guilty. The friend who let you down is now a shadow of their former self around you. Every conversation is full of regret. Their remorse is like a storm, a non-stop tempest of sadness, guilt, and self-blame, battering their spirit. It's a bit like the story of the prodigal son, who came back home feeling really bad about what he'd done. He was carrying the weight of shame from wasted time and poor choices. His heart was racing, and he wasn't sure if she'd be able to forgive him. But when he got there, his dad's open arms broke through the walls of shame, replacing it with grace. That powerful moment of redemption turned regret into a lesson in humility, reminding us all that, even though remorse is painful, it can become the path to healing. That return marked more than just a homecoming. It was a special moment of making peace and feeling new energy, and it changed how the prodigal son understood love, being forgiven and being humble. In your story, your steadfast presence plays a similar role. Your integrity is their torment, a constant reminder of the moral failures they can no longer avoid. This awareness ties them together, not with physical chains but with emotional ones, forged in their own regret. To them, you're not just another person. You're the living embodiment of the consequences of their choices. When you're calm and they can't see you, they know you're thinking it, and they know you're thinking they're really sorry and that they messed up really badly. To them, you're the justice they secretly want but are too scared to believe they could ever be worthy of. They're consumed by a fire of regret and remorse, which eats away at their confidence and leaves them exposed. You're the one holding them accountable, and this realization keeps them trapped in a never-ending cycle of sadness and quiet guilt. Your presence is a living reminder of their lack of integrity and their moral collapse. They just can't get over this regret. The sixth reason for their embarrassment is even worse. It's the collapse of their self-image. Their whole sense of self has been totally shattered. They have to face the fact that who they thought they were isn't the same as what they've actually done. Picture a friend who used to be close to you but who, to make themselves feel better, put you down all the time. Now, they're dealing with the awful realization that their behavior wasn't just wrong. It was actually really damaging. When you're there, they can't help but see what they did, but also who they really are. Every time they interact, they're forced to face the painful reality that the person they thought they were isn't the same as the person they actually are. This isn't just a bit of a pain. It's a real existential crisis that hits them right in the core of their self-worth. You can't ignore these moments of truth. The colleague who always tried to dominate conversations by putting you down now seems rattled and fragile in meetings. They're starting to feel a bit unsure as they come to terms with the truth, but they don't say anything. The family member who used to try and undermine you at gatherings now struggles to even have a simple chat. The mask they wore was falling apart because they realized something. Their damaged self-image becomes a non-stop storm, a tempest of shame and disillusionment that tears through the false story they once lived by. They're like Narcissus, who was so caught up in his reflection that he didn't see the world around him. They're now stuck in the emptiness of their self-obsession. When Narcissus finally realized that his admiration was pointless, he was overcome with despair. He used to be proud of his looks, but they ended up being a sign of his downfall because he was delusional. In a similar way, your presence now becomes their torture, showing the huge difference between their old illusions and the truth of now. What they see in you is no longer just a person. They see a force that reveals their true character without them having to say a word. Your unwavering gaze is a bit of a tell-all, shining a light on the broken pieces of their identity and the emptiness of their false self-image. To them, you're the real deal, the truth they tried to bury, and you expose their biggest fears. When their self-perception collapses, it becomes an all-consuming void that devours their composure and leaves them defenseless. You're their reckoning, the inescapable presence that forces them to face what they've become. This makes them feel trapped in a constant loop of self-doubt and regret. Your presence shows how they've given up on their own moral standards. It's this damaged version of themselves that they can't deal with. They now realize that they missed loads of chances to build a good relationship with you, and they regret that. Picture the mentor who didn't have your back when you needed them most. Now they're sitting alone, feeling pretty bitter about missing the chance to have a positive, lasting impact on your life. Your presence is a constant reminder of the bridge they never built, a constant symbol of the connection they allowed to wither. Every time we interact, It's like they're showing me the support they never gave, the encouragement they withheld, and the potential they ignored. This isn't just regret. It's a haunting acknowledgement of what could have been. In everyday life, these missed opportunities are really obvious. The colleague who used to laugh at your ideas is now finding it hard to keep up with you. The family member who once chose indifference over compassion now sits in silence during gatherings, aware of the bond they abandoned. They're left feeling like they've missed out on something, like they're not getting the satisfaction they thought they would. Think about King Saul. Instead of guiding and supporting David, he let jealousy mess up his judgment. Instead of seeing David as an ally and successor, he saw him as a threat. Every time there was an act of sabotage, it just showed how insecure Saul was and made his authority look even weaker. As David's light grew, Saul's own path darkened. This failure to mentor and uplift marked the start of Saul's downfall, a downfall sealed by isolation and regret, ending in tragedy on the battlefield. In a similar way, your constant presence is now their torment, a constant reminder of the chances they didn't take and the respect they failed to earn. This realization can become a prison of lost potential, holding them back from moving on. They don't see you as a person anymore. They see a relentless force that highlights every missed opportunity. Your quiet strength is a sign that the relationship could have worked. To them, you're the personification of what they've missed out on, the good times, the encouragement, and the potential growth. This recognition of lost potential can become a real fire in their belly, and it can take away their confidence and leave them exposed and vulnerable. You're the one holding them accountable for the paths they refuse to take. This truth keeps them stuck in a never-ending cycle of regret and self-blame. Your presence is a testament to everything they failed to nurture, a living reminder of their shortcomings. It's this realization that we missed out on some opportunities that feels the most significant. So, when you meet people who seem to get embarrassed around you, just remember that it's not about you. It's a reflection of your strength. It's the truth you carry that they can't face. You've seen the signs. Their regret, their fear, their shame, and their silent acknowledgement of all they lost. The colleague who now struggles to speak, the neighbor who avoids your gaze, the friend who stammers through apologies. All of these moments are a reminder of your power and grace. You keep seizing opportunities to grow in your truth and to stand tall in your integrity. That's all for today. Dear Father, I'm trying to grow my faith. Help me trust you even when there's no physical evidence. I'll believe in your constant presence, and I know you won't ever do me any harm. I know you're thinking good things for me, and that you want the best for my future. Thanks, God, for always listening to me. I offer this prayer up to you in the name of Jesus. Amen to that. Thanks, Jesus, for your love and provision. I'm really grateful for you and all you bring to my life. If this video was useful, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with anyone who needs to hear it. Leave a comment below about your journey and how you're preparing for your own triumphant return. If you'd like to support our work, you can do that through Buy Me a Coffee. This helps us keep on improving our content to offer you the best. The link to Buy Me a Coffee is in the description. No gift is too small. Whatever you can give, whether it's a penny, a prayer, or a share, your generosity helps spread God's word and brings hope to others. Don't stop here. Watch our next video for some powerful revelations about the signs that show you're the chosen one. It's been great following your spiritual journey. Thanks for sticking with us until the end. Keep on shining and be brave as you go after your dreams. See you next time. I hope all you lovely people are well and enjoying life.